awesome!
Alright folks, welcome to the channel Skins for Life, or even the hat. It's bleeding burgundy and gold, but I keep it behind me, keep it backwards, because the NFL lockout is still in effect. So like I said in my previous video, the hat will be turned backwards until the strike ends again. So that being said, we now have the blog out for the Madden franchise and superstar modes. Today was their playbook, I think number 3 for franchise and superstar. Now, I told myself that I was only waiting for the first 3 playbooks. I can care. I know they're gonna explain dynamic player development in the next playbook, but my Achilles heel has always been the franchise, gameplay, and presentation, all 3 wrapped up in one. But for me, it has always been the franchise mode. I've always felt that that mode was the most neglected mode ever. How they can just ride off on it and say that, oh, we're not going to touch it this year, and you know, it was just unacceptable. So I believe they're making up for it, but let me make this clear. They're not saying these are new features, these are added features, but Josh Lumen in his blog, in which I'll go through each subject he talks about as far as his franchise mode improvements, have been installations from either the previous gen Madden or NFL head coach, which, to tell you the truth, NFL head coach had the bet out of for EA Sports, and previous gen Maddens have had the best franchise modes ever. Ever since it went to 360 or PS3, franchise has sucked along with everything else. But according to the first 2 playbooks, Madden is heading in a direction that folks will enjoy eventually. But let's go through the franchise subjects. Now, as I scroll through here patiently, so the first thing he does talk about, he welcomes everybody. He tells everybody that, you know, his sole purpose has always been improving the franchise mode. And first thing he talks about is the dynamic player performance. What that's supposed to do is emulate how unpredictable the NFL can be. Like, let's take a player like Michael Vick. How he can be spectacular one week when he torched my Skins for 6 touchdowns, and I could just be downright terrible when he got hurt against the same Redskins weeks prior. And just inexplicably throw interceptions, and just, you know, he's not as consistent as like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning. But what Josh Lumen talks about in his blog is that how Michael Vick could be rated 90 one week, 80 another, and 70 in another week. And what plays into this is also the hot and cold streaks that definitely affect a player's rating. So I think that is a good move. It makes it more realistic, because players don't always play the same don't always play the same way. You can't have Michael Vick go a whole season on fire when we all know that this man could go nuts one week and be ice cold another. So Eagles fans know that all too well when they had McNabb, and we got it with McNabb. So I think that's a good move. I like that. Alright, the next thing that he talks about is expanded rosters and cut days. Finally! I agree. This was probably the most requested feature, as I have been on the EA forum blogs of Operation Sports, and even on YouTube, as that being the Achilles heel, and what that would tie into is also the IR mode being fixed. Um, so maximum amount of players can have on the roster is 75 at the most. Now, I still say they can put it up to 100 because NCAA you can have 100 players, but this is good move. 75 players, and what they did is that you have cut days. Each week you have to cut a certain amount of players, and actually preseason is going to matter because what will happen is that training camp invitees and undrafted rookies and rookies that you never were able to scout throughout the season, their ratings are locked up, so you don't know what they are, which is great. I don't like the fact that if I already know what my players are rated, then I can just cut whoever and it won't even kill me. But now it makes it totally unpredictable. So I like that. I think they said they retuned the depth chart so it plays like real life. Instead of every game the starters get taken out in the first half, they actually play it to where in the fourth game the subs will play the entire game, and so on and so on. So we'll see how that plays out as we get closer to the release date, or we won't see it in the demo, but we'll see it in the release date. Okay, the next. Okay, let's go through here. New rookie scouting season. I kind of touched up on that in the last one, where you definitely have to scout your rookies. That's a no-brainer. I don't even have to explain that anymore. I figured people was already scouting their rookies, beforehand. If you didn't scout your rookies, just drafted blindly, then that's your fault. All right. Definitely a feature that came from the NFL Coach Series, and this is the new free agent bidding feature, to where you have to know who you want before you go into this mode, because apparently once you go in, you can't back out. You can't pause it. I think it's going to be fast and furious. You have to, have a game plan before you go into this new free agent feature in the game. I think I like how this is going to go. So that's a good move as well. Player roles. Now that's been in previous current gen Maddens and also in last gens Maddens. They've expanded on them. It's not the weapon system as it was in I think 05, 06, 07, and they took it out in 08, I believe. It may have still been in 08, but I like how that is going to actually define how teams play according to what's on their team. So I like that. Good move. Okay, here's one that I could. Why would anybody want to change their team? I thought there was if you wanted to change teams, then just control all the teams each and every year so you can control every team. But apparently there's going to be a change teams feature in between seasons in the franchise mode, which is useless to me. Future draft picks. This comes from NHL. NHL, you could trade away future draft picks up until 2000. Right now, with NHL 11, you can trade up to 2015. So that's good. They're making the offseason more realistic. Edit players, why? I definitely don't like this move, because what's going to happen is that people who are playing this game are going to boost their ratings. From what I'm seeing, that there's no cap to this. So you can make everybody 100 in this game, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I think that shouldn't have been allowed. I think you should not be allowed to adjust ratings when you already have a dynamic player development system. So just play well with your players, and their ratings will go up. You don't have to boost them up. That's ridiculous. Practice mode. It will matter. Going back to the expanded rosters and cut down dates, you get to see, take an extra look at these players that don't have all their ratings unlocked and see whether or not you want to keep them or not. They also talk about increased injury chances, injured reserve fix. I talked about that before. Now you can actually, with the expanded rosters, now you can actually open up. It actually opens up a roster spot. Technically in the programming it doesn't, because you can have 75 players. It just, the AI logic just says that, okay, well, he can have 54 players on the squad because one player is hurt. Now he can add another one. You can probably have like up to, let's see, if it works that way, you can have up to 22 players on IR. But at a certain point, you'll reach your max, and also you have the cap room to deal with. So, dynamic game plans, which means that the computer will play according to who they have on the team and not always throw the ball 30 or 40 times. Like they make the example of Peyton Manning. If he were to retire or get hurt, they'll change their offense around to cater to who they have at quarterback, and also who's on the team. They're getting into draft classes, and I know I'm running long. I'm at the 11-minute mark at this point, so the rest of this you can go on to the EA Sports website and check out the playbook blog by Josh Lumen. They have a revamped team, re-signed a new cut dead weight logic. Like I can cut Hainsworth if I want to, because everyone's cutting Hainsworth in their franchise. I don't want. You know what? Just to go back to that team role, they should. I wonder if they have a role that's called team cancer. If you have team, I think one of the things is locker room leader or mentor. They should also have team cancer. So the ratings of the whole team fluctuate negatively each time this person is either on the roster or whatever. So, and that was in the previous Gen Madden, when you had a player who was unhappy and made everybody else terrible. So, new salary system, retune simulation stats, weather tuning. Some folks will complain Green Bay wasn't snowing in January. If it doesn't snow in January, just keep playing. It'll eventually snow. It doesn't always snow in Green Bay in January, so that was probably on the list. Revamp player retirements, revamp player award logic. There's a lot that was talked about. New player portraits and draft rookies, new depth chart logic, new coach impacts, and I think that was the last thing he talked about. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Now, some people are saying that Madden is moving in the right direction. They are finally starting to listen to the people as far as, certain aspects of the game, and trying to figure out whether they should either purchase this game or they should just wait on the demo. Now, definitely wait on the demo. As a smart consumer, you don't want to buy a product before you try it out. You want to try. It's just like getting a car. You want to take it on the road, take it on the street, take it on the highway. You definitely want to check out the insides and outs of it before you make that final purchase. So I recommend when the demo comes out, go get it. You're not going to be able to check out everything, unfortunately, in the demo. If there's a way you can get the hookup, I would recommend getting this game for a hookup. I vow to get this game. If I were to get this game, that I would not spend any money. I would just basically get it for free. That's what I'm planning to do. I plan on getting this game for free, because I will not spend money to buy this game. But if somebody give me the hookup, give it to me. I'll take free any day. So again, tell me what you guys think of these features that the blog just came out today. Of course, they started leaking stuff on Friday, so they now completed the process. So again, what do you think?